Hi, and it's time for another Top 5 Wednesday! Top 5 Wednesday is a Goodreads group that is hosted by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes, where we count down the top 5 whatever in the book world. And this week the topic was the top 5 science fiction and fantasy books that we are dying to read. There are quite a few books in the science fiction and in the fantasy genre that I really wanted to read, and I have not yet for some reason. I don't know what I'm doing with myself. I just keep reading other things instead of reading the things that I've had on my TBR for months on end, because, you know, logic. So let's get going! At number 5, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. So A Court of Thorns and Roses is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It is set in the same universe as Throne of Glass, and I only read the first Throne of Glass, and I'm still undecided if I'm going to continue reading the series. But I've read reviews of this book where people have said, I didn't really like Throne of Glass, but I really liked this series. So I want to read it to see if maybe I'll like it more. It's fantasy, there's a bit of romance. I'm in. Number 4, Wondrous Strange by Leslie Livingston. This is a Canadian book about Shakespeare. So I'm like, YA Shakespeare, here I come. Wondrous Strange is about a girl whose name I cannot remember. I literally just read the description of the book and I forget. She gets cast as Titania in a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream, and then suddenly she gets dragged into this world where she realizes that fairies are real, and I'm just really excited by that prospect because A, fairies are like my favorite thing, B, Shakespeare, also my favorite thing, C, Canadian books, also my favorite thing. I love finding new Canadian stories, so I'm excited to read this. I actually met Leslie Livingston a really long time ago. Like, I was at this Girl Guide camp and she came in to talk about her book. Yeah, like this was right when it first came out, and I've been wanting to read it ever since. I've just been not reading it for some reason. But I'm gonna do it like this month or next month. It's happening very soon. Number 3, The Princess, the Scoundrel, and the Farm Boy by Alexandra Bracken. So this is the first of 3 YA novelizations of the Star Wars films. I am really excited to read these because I think that it will be a slightly different perspective. I have a feeling that the style of the books will be a little bit different than a straight up novelization of a film. My Star Wars love and the hype is real, so I gotta get my hands on this at some point. Number 2, Welcome to Night Vale by Jeffrey Cranor and Joseph Fink. I love Welcome to Night Vale. I'm really behind on the podcasts. I'm on like 67 out of like 100 something. But you know what? Whatever. I enjoy it. I reached the podcast where they start advertising the book, so I know that like whatever the book has in it, I've already listened to in Welcome to Night Vale. Like, it's a completely separate story, but I was afraid there would be spoilers or something. It's about a different set of characters than Welcome to Night Vale, which, if you've listened to the podcast, is about Cecil, who runs the radio station. I mean, a lot of those characters will also be in this book, I think, but it's from the perspective of a teenager. I'm just really excited. I just really want to give it a shot and see if it gives me the same excitement that the podcast does. Number 1, Dying of the Light by George R.R. Martin. So my George R.R. Martin withdrawal is real because, you know, I've read all the Song of Ice and Fire and now I'm just waiting for book 6. But George R.R. Martin wrote some sci-fi books before he went into Game of Thrones territory. Dying of the Light is one of them, and I was just really intrigued by the idea of George R.R. Martin writing sci-fi. The description on the back of the cover is like very vague, but from what I can discern, it's about a planet that is slowly dying and all the people living in the planet and their separate stories and there's space battles and stuff. I don't even know, but I'm excited to read it because I do really enjoy George R.R. Martin's writing, and reading a sci-fi book from him will be an interesting experience. Those are my top 5 sci-fi and fantasy books that I want to get to. So those are the top 5 sci-fi and fantasy books that I need to read soon. Let me know what some of those books are for you, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!